Okay guys, seems like the last time I did any reviews of a product, I was doing a sound stream. Today, I'm going to give you a review of a name brand radio, just so everybody doesn't think that I'm a noob. This is a Pioneer MVH-AV-251BT. It's kind of a limited edition. It is exactly the same radio as an MVH-2400 NEX. There's probably a new version coming out now, 2019. Pioneer is going through some changes with a new takeover and ownership. But we'll go through it and I'll show you the differences on this radio versus some of the other radios on the market. It's hooked up to my S8. So you can see it's got Android Auto pulled up. The main Android Auto screen here. My last text message, my last phone call. Which it's hard because the glare isn't picking up, but that's the screen resolution. It probably would look better if I had went with the 4400. 4400 is a capacitive touchscreen. This is a resistive touchscreen, hence the glare at this angle. So I'll try to make sure you guys can see what I'm looking at. The reason why I bought it is I wanted to put Waze or GPS without paying for a GPS. And the onboard GPSs are a lot more expensive. This unit, I have Waze here, or I can change my GPS to Google Maps. I use Waze. I like to know where the cops are sitting. It also helps with live traffic, and you're not paying for, with Kenwood, Garmin, or with Pioneer and Alpine, you get iGo Primo. My music, it works great with Pandora, Spotify, even Slacker. This is a Mechless radio, no CD, no DVD. However, it will work video through USB, so you just download it, play it that way. I expected it to have a SD card. It doesn't. No motorized face, so no SD card behind the screen. With this radio, go to the main menu, you'll see all your options. It also has capability for app radio mode, which gives you a few other features that you don't get on the Android Auto by itself. Spotify comes up, Pandora, Bluetooth. This is a main menu, but you can go into an AV menu and pull up all sources. That also includes Sirius XM, which I don't currently have activated. This car came with it. I'd like to have it, but I don't necessarily want to pay for it. Sirius XM for radio, unless you do a lot of traveling and want something that goes state to state, I don't typically recommend it. If you had it in your car and you love the programming, hey, go for it. AVN, also, if you want to do like a wired mirroring option, you can do it that way. This piece supports Maestro, so if you have a Maestro RR, you can do your AC controls and stuff through that in a lot of CAN bus vehicles. That's what the car features are for. Now, the differences between a lot of other radios, SoundStream has a critical failure. I'll put it in reverse, you'll see my camera comes up. If I'm playing music, that's a screen overlay. Automatically puts video on top of whatever, doesn't cut off any music. It's not a source change, it's just a video. So if I want to do left camera, right camera, front camera, it's not going to affect anything that I'm playing on this radio. On the SoundStream that I have in my other car, every time you put the camera on, it changes sources like AVN, basically, and interrupts the music. That's quite irritating. The big reason for doing a name brand radio, and what the off-brands don't understand, is not the EQ. A lot of EQs, let's see, we'll turn music on so it'll operate. My bad.
SB 24-hour continuing news.
A lot of EQs will give you 11 bands, 10 bands. That's great. The problem isn't the EQ band. The problem is when you don't have a 4-channel amplifier and you want crossover points. This right here is exactly what separates Pioneer, Kenwood, Alpine, JVC, Sony from everybody else. That right there. You have a, I don't know, older Chevy truck with 4x6s on the dash. You're not playing 20 and 30 hertz. If you have a car with 4-inch speakers, older Toyotas, even BMWs with 4-inch components, you're not going to get 40, 30, even 20 hertz out of a door speaker. So how do you cross it over? This will allow you 6 dB, 12 dB, or 24 dB slope, and you can adjust your high pass filter front, rear, and subwoofer. It's got time alignment, not necessarily needed, and because I still have the 4-channel line output converter with line driver hooked up for my factory 7-inch, I don't have the sub turned on, but you can see this radio is a lot more dynamic than the dual screen piece that I had earlier. Doesn't take away from the dual screen being a good radio, feature packed, built-in nav, screen mirroring, a lot of cool features. This one just happens to be easier to tune without a 4-channel amplifier. I want the Kenwood reference piece, so I'll probably take this one out and put it on display later at the shop. But for now, I'm very impressed with the features in this radio for the money. I mean, the 2400 NEX retail about $400. That's not bad to get CarPlay, Android Auto in a 7-inch, and it sounds pretty good. The internals on this one are pretty solid. I'd like to go through all the other features on it, but I don't want the radio to, or the review to take too long. You can change your colors, background themes. You can even download pictures for your background. Bluetooth works solid. I've never had a problem with it dropping a phone call. There is an issue with if you have any notifications on your phone when Google is talking to you or giving you directions, it will sometimes mute the notification where it's like, I don't know, volume 3, and you'll have to have it repeat itself so you can understand what the text message said. I think it's just going to be a software update issue. Drives me crazy when you're trying to speak into text messages through a conversation. You're just telling somebody you're on your way, no big deal. Trying to have a full conversation with somebody, the radio seems to get confused. It may actually be the phone that's getting confused as you're getting 2 or 3 text messages and replying to one within 3 coming in and out. So that's just a typical Android Auto glitch. Other than that, you can talk to the radio, tell it that you want to add to your calendar. It will go ahead and put that in there. I have steering wheel control, so I can use my voice control. Also, while you're in Android Auto, there's a button at the top here. What's on my calendar for tomorrow?
Tomorrow you have 3 all-day events. David Samaha's birthday, Court and James Vickers 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. At 9:30 a.m., Court.
Perfect. Pretty neat.